Ladies, talk about the audacity of men. You might want to get your tea for this one. It's hot. So we're going to play this video and then we're going to go for a story time you probably will not believe. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it.
Delusional men are? Because tell me why, for the second time, a man who had the audacity to say, excuse me, and try to get my number or social media or whatever. After I ignored him and pretend he wasn't even speaking to me, he and his friend go back to talking about another girl while referring to her as a B word. And that's the problem. Some men have the audacity to think, you think me so stupid that I would be attracted to someone who would refer to women as B words. Who are you? How dare you even speak to me? You're so comfortable publicly disrespecting women, and you think that's attractive. And you think you can just come up to me. What are they putting in the water? Okay, I'm the only one who notices how bold, no, delusional men are. Because tell me why, for the second time, a man who had the audacity to say, excuse me, and try to get my number or social media or whatever. After I ignored him and pretend he wasn't even speaking to me, he and his friend go back to talking about another girl while referring to her as a B word. And that's the problem. Some men have the audacity to think, you think me so stupid that I would be attracted to someone who would refer to women as B words.
Honey, the audacity and that dust to stick. Let's go ahead and get to it. Again, you might want to have a sit down for this one. Let's go ahead and get to it. Girlfriend of mine, she's dating this guy. They dated for like 3 years ago. I'm going to try to say it as fast as I can. Whew. Like 3 years ago, broken up. Kind of guy he is. He's the kind of guy. She had gotten a promotion, and we had like a group dinner. So in the group dinner, it was like, "Yeah, she's a manager, yada yada." What does he come out with? Always got a smart mouth. Always gonna put her down. Well, of course she got it. Ain't nobody else applied for the job. Oh, I'm just playing, just playing. Oh, finally, I guess their college degree is worth something. So always a pot shot guy. It had been building up. He had traveled. He was out of town, came back, had a key to her house, and so he was supposed to like get her supposed to go out together and have a nice little, celebration time, go out to have a nice little dinner, just the two of them, okay? So what happened was she had to work on a project, so she had to work late, and she was going to be home late. This was on a Friday, and she was like, man, by the time I get home, it's going to be about 9 o'clock. We can't go to the restaurant, so just go ahead and get the entree to go. And then when she gets home, he was supposed to have the food there. Then they can just, heat it up and then have some wine, yada, yada, yada. Okay. And they had spoken throughout the day while she was on the job. Okay. So he already knew. He didn't go to work that day. He was traveling. He was off that whole day. Okay. So when she gets home on that Friday, she's thinking, oh yeah, it's gonna go home and relax. She's here. You're gonna have this nice meal and some wine and just chill. You know what I'm saying? How about when she got home looking for the food? He's there all day. How about when she got home looking for the food was not there? You know what he did give her? You know how you go to the hotel and they put that cover over the food to keep it warm, like the warmer? She lifted it up looking for her food. It was a homemade sandwich. It was a homemade sandwich. Not the entree from the restaurant. One of her favorite entrees, really the favorite entree at the restaurant that she told him to get. He never did call and say, I didn't get it. It's like, what are you doing? All day he didn't get it. She came home looking for that entree. It was a sandwich. Fast forward, you got the same run of the mill BS, cheating and lying and conniving. Realized that once he bought her some flowers with her own card, yes, like as in taking her card out of her purse and ordering her some flowers, making it think that he did it. But then the bill came. He's like, what is this? So we're going to fast forward. Okay. We are going to go ahead and fast forward. So long story short, too much drama, they decide to break up. So she got a call recently, and when she got the phone call, she pretty much gave it to the voicemail. She didn't answer that they broke up, okay? Then he called again. On the voicemail, he was like, oh yeah, I just need to talk to you about something that's really important. She ignored it. It's probably some drama. He might just want to see what she's got going on and bring some messy drama. Okay. He called again the second time. It sounded rather solemn. It's very serious that we need to talk. We talked about it, and I said, well, you know, she's like, it sound, he was saying like it's serious. I'm like, well, talk. He said, well, he wants to talk in person. So he didn't want to have the conversation over the phone. He wants to talk in person. And she's like, I just don't want no messy drama because he does stuff like that. I said, tell you what, well, and again, I've seen him in person. Trust me. Like I said about the dinner, nobody else applied for it. He got to be a smart mouth. Can I just give you that, that a girl, way to go, can't be supported. I said, well, listen, we all know each other. Just tell him when you can come by and you can say you'll be out running errands, then it'll be the both of us. So in case he come with some most stupid antics, I'm your support system to say, look, let's go. So let's just put it that way. So saying, yeah, hey, tomorrow Tuesday around 3 o'clock and go ahead and stop by a little bit after that. Gonna be out running some errands. Oh, okay, fine, cool. So she did that via text. Okay, so that was via text. Go over there. He's like, hey, I'm there. Hey. He's like, oh, okay. And so they go into, he didn't even offer us like anything to drink, nothing like that. He didn't even try to say like catch up. They walked into another room, and when I say another room, the door wasn't closed. It's like an archway. So they're in the other room, so there's no door closing. So I can hear unless you're whispering. I said, hey, you know what? I'll just take a seat. I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. You got a nice view, that kind of thing. I'm listening. He didn't ask her what's going on with her. He just said, oh, yeah, how you been doing? Oh, okay. He didn't ask her, you married, single, dating somebody. He didn't ask anything like that. He just jumped into it. And guess what he said? He'd had a car accident, and they did some kind of x-rays, and something came up on the x-ray, which he was not aware of. And it's terminal. Do you know what he said to her? So this is why I want to talk in person. And this is not what she told me. I heard it with my own ears. He said, when the time comes, he said he's planning it. He's talking about his funeral. He said, when the time comes, you think you might can show up and say a few words? Hold on. Hold on. Hope you got your tea. He said, when the time comes, you think you might can show up and say a few words? Then he said, you think you might can shed a tear? You can hear a pin fall. We weren't there long. She just said she was sorry to hear about it. Do what I can, and we left. Just shocked. So he's getting his stuff together. So clearly I'm thinking, so I'm thinking, well, how would you know? So I said, oh, he must have given somebody your information. He's planning this. And I thought about it. I said, wow. The fact that he has to even ask that speaks volumes. Look how things turned out with him. He has the audacity to ask you to say some words and you think you might shed a tear? He's orchestrating this? Who has to ask that? And then it got me to thinking, wait, girl, you need to slow your roll. Being how he is, conniving, it kind of got me to thinking, and I don't mean to sound negative, I'm just going to be real with it. It got me to thinking, how is it, how do you know, because it's possible, how do you know that he, being selfish, is not going around to different women that he has dated, that he has hurt? How do you know he's not going around to different women with this same request? So when that time does happen, oh, he can have a funeral, y'all, where they can say, oh my, those women, even though he never did marry them, even though he treated them real badly, dogged them out and cheated and lied on them, those women, they still showed up and they really cried, showed up for him. Oh, they were crying. How do we know that's not the case? And I don't mean to be cynical, but yeah, how do we know that? This might be his plan. Get them all lined up. How do you know that you're not the only one that's being asked? He might, I mean, seriously, how do you know you're not being used? That's what I want to know. How do you know that you are not being used? Please tell me. How do you know that you are not being used? This may be his plan. The fact, and I thought about it, the fact that a person has to do that, it speaks volumes. You have to do that because you're not a good person, because you've been known to use and manipulate. So the fact that you have to even ask that, craziest thing to me. I ain't never heard of no mess like that in my life. It didn't end well. It ended with the lying and the cheating and the scheming. It was a whole lot of drama throughout. Being embarrassed in front of other people, want to always put a pot shot. It was like, why does he do this? And at first, she took it as a sense of humor. No, that's who he is. He's trying to diminish your light. It was not a good relationship. And just like it was with her, I'm willing to bet you, which I don't know them, but I'm willing to bet you with the other women, it was the same thing. It wasn't a good relationship. And so this is what you're getting. I said, so obviously, I said, he must have given out your information to somebody that he knows to call you. But this is what you ask? Wow. When the time comes, a taker on the way to the grave. Who does this? So yeah, if I were, it was just shocking. Like I said, that's one thing that came because that's how I think. It's like think outside the box. This isn't because he thought so highly of you. So if he thought so highly of you, and so during, if he didn't want to be in a relationship, he should have just left. But look at the treatment. So this isn't one of those. Oh, he thought so highly of you. No, it's probably called. There's probably nobody else to turn to. It's probably called. I want to give a show of this. Somebody really gave a darn about me. Talk about the audacity. So I said, if it was me, what I would do when that happens, and it's unfortunate for him, I said I would kind of show up and look at the program, see if it's a list down there. You're not obligated to do anything. You said you see what you can do. It's a shocker. You're not obligated. But I tell you what I wouldn't do. You're not gonna have in the end. And I thought about it. Look how this could affect your relationship. He doesn't care. Selfish. I thought about it. So how do you know he leave it to him? How do you know he won't have you standing up there like a clown, and then it's a whole succession of women sitting up here that he's already asked to do this, like an orchestra, like it's a play. Come in on cue. Okay, your turn. Okay, girl number 5, your turn. I wouldn't participate in that stuff, in that nonsense, because you're not going to humiliate me. I thought about it. How do you know? Well, he didn't have nobody else to turn to. Do we know that? He might be reaching out to different women again so he can have a finale where they can say, oh my goodness, when he left, oh my goodness, those women, they sure loved him. I tell you, no matter how he treated them, they, in the end, they were there for him. Was he? So yeah, I said that's what I would do. If that happens and you go, read the room. See if anybody else showing up with the theatrics. And see, women were emotional creatures. So I said, wow, he's even had the nerve. All this time you couldn't find somebody to deal with. You have to ask this. I said, it wouldn't surprise me. I just see him as a character. He could be the one that's sitting up here. I'm telling you, it will not surprise me at all. Despite his prognosis, it will not surprise me at all. He's sitting up here and got more than one woman asking this to make himself look like, oh, he went out. Man, they really loved him. Where's the current relationship at? So the audacity. And then I thought about it because I think she's feeling sorry for him. Like, back the train up. You know what's happened. I know what's happened. He never did offer one apology for anything that he's done to her. You not may have done anything he has done. Let's talk about that. He never offered one apology. And I think she was scared as heck. She wanted to get up out of there. I don't even think we lasted maybe 5 minutes, if that. Yeah, I would say about maybe 5 minutes, if that. I think she was, kind of got a little spooked, like, oh my gosh. Where was the apology? For what happened in the past? Yeah, let's talk about that. Why did he never, all about him, which makes me think, and yes, I'm saying it, despite him being all sickly, how do you know that this old sickly character, he might be orchestrating this on purpose so he can say he had a whole lot of women? Man, I tell you, he really had it going on. So she needs to learn to read the room. See if anybody else shows up. When that time comes, see if anybody else shows up. See if anybody else is, putting on a show. How wonderful he was. She needs to check that out. And if that's the case, girl, you're getting played from the grave. Let me know what you all think. The audacity of men, the shocking things they say and do will never end. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out.